Whoa! Hello, guys. Lorenzo here. Happy Tuesday, guys. Um, you've been wondering why I'm wearing this hat? Well, uh, it's not just because of I'm a Frank Sinatra fan, because I'm a Fargo fan. You know, and there's a what do you call this? A season that a lot of characters are wearing this, and that's the season of Chris Rock. His season, I think it's season 4 of Fargo, and wow, Fargo is such a good and interesting series. But not just that, it's also a very wow, it's a very well made series, actually, from the directing to the editing to the music and the sound and the acting, and of course, importantly, the writing. Wow, it's well written. It's like a novel, it's really well written. Dialogue is, you know it's class A script writing. So, and of course, the directing. And I'm just so amazed how the series is able to maintain the momentum, and based on my experience watching other series, it the other series tend to lose momentum uh, when you continue to watch. It kind of dies down, and you get bored. You use your phone, you stop, you don't continue. You'll be like, but when you watch Fargo, um, it keeps you watching, it keeps you guessing, and you really feel for the characters. And what's amazing is that from seasons 1 to 5, um, it's still good. It maintains the quality and the greatness of the whole series. So, if I were to recommend to you a great series to watch on Netflix, and I think there's also on Amazon Prime, go watch Fargo. And if you're more interested in Fargo, if you're into the realm of Fargo, you should watch the Coen Brothers Fargo movie. I think that was made in 1996 or 1997. Yeah, it was by Joel and Ethan Coen. They were the ones responsible for setting the mood and the tone and the whole hype of Fargo, the whole story, uh, the whole Fargo verse. They were responsible for that. So, yeah, go check it out. Fargo, the movie, and Fargo, the series. And my gosh, I'm a fan of the Coen brothers. They're the guys responsible for No Country for Old Men and the other interesting crime films like Blood Simple. What else did he make? They also made a lot. Burn After Reading, A Serious Man, a lot of interesting crime stories, but it's also comedic. So they have a lot of sense of humor. And I haven't watched yet their new film. It's called Honey Don't. I think that's what it's called. And but yeah, I'll watch it someday. I'm a fan of the Coen brothers. So yeah. So what else? Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm a huge action thriller guy. Basically old school, and I just realized that at this day and age, recently I haven't really seen a good one. You know, I think the last good action movie I've seen was the one of Michael Bay, The Ambulance. The one of Jake Gyllenhaal. That was a good one. Then after that, I haven't really seen one. Maybe The Equalizer 3 by Antoine Fuqua. That was good. But I think that's what we're missing now. Just old school, traditional 80s, 90s types of action films. What we're getting now is it's kind of like a donut commercial. I just seen the Wrecking Crew. the movie of Batista and Momoa. Though I am a fan of both, but the movie was, I didn't dig it. You know, it wasn't like a movie. It didn't feel like a movie. It felt like a joke. It felt like a gag. You know, as again, this is my opinion because I'm a movie guy. I love movies, and it just didn't have a rhythm. You know, it was a mess. It was boring. I found it boring. Though the fight choreography was okay, but it didn't work because of how it was edited. I don't know. I just didn't dig the movie. Forgive me if you disagree with my comments on that film, but I'm just saying my opinion as a film guy because I'm also a director, and again, this is a world of free speech, so part of my right. All right. So yeah, action movies. Yeah, I miss those days like Die Hard, Predator, the films of Walter Hill, 48 Hours. Those type of films. The French Connection. The Deer Hunter. Um, the action films of Kevin Costner, like No Way Out. Revenge, the one of Tony Scott. The action films of Tony Scott. Enemy of the State. Um, what else? He made a lot. Tony Scott. What else? Oh, the ones of John McTiernan. The Die Hard guy. He made a lot of good action films, actually. Like yeah, Predator. I mentioned that already. A lot in that realm. That's what we lack. The action films now, they make it like a gag or like a joke that you don't take seriously. Yeah, it's for fun, it's for entertainment, but like there's no more film magic to it. The magic is gone. They don't have the mojo anymore. There's no rhythm. It's a joke. It's like you know it's not like a traditional old school great film category that you care about the characters, you care about the story, the directing is good, the editing, and you take it seriously. But I think that there are guys that are still doing it now, treating the action genre how it's supposed to be treated. And well, those are guys that I've mentioned before, like Ridley Scott, when he did with Gladiator, Black Hawk Down, American Gangster, Body of Lies. Those are good action films, and he still does it until now. Um, who else? Antoine Fuqua. He's still sticking to the old guns. I love him. He makes good action films. Antoine Fuqua with the Equalizer films and the Olympus Has Fallen, Tears of the Sun, Training Day. I think that's what we're also missing, like gritty crime, action, thriller films, like the categories of a David Ayer film. That's what we're missing. David Ayer is a fantastic director slash writer. He wrote Training Day, and Dark Blue. Those are good LA crime films, about corrupt cops and criminals. That's what we're missing. And that David Ayer is a great director. If you haven't heard of him, he's the guy responsible for making Fury, Suicide Squad. That was good. The Tax Collector was okay, but it's gritty. I like it. Shia LaBeouf is good, even though he cuts him real short, but it's good. What else? Oh, he did recently The Beekeeper and The Working Man, which I really, really enjoyed. It's fun. See, it's fun, but at the same time, you still maintain the quality of film. Well, that's good. I love David Ayer. I heard he's making a new one, Heart of the Beast, starring Brad Pitt, who plays a retired Green Beret, and he goes into the Alaskan wilderness in a small plane with his canine dog, and they crash in the wilderness, and they have to survive and find civilization again. It's man versus wild, and hopefully man versus beast, because you're in the Alaskan wilderness, and what do you expect? bears, you know, or wolves. So, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I think those are films that we lack, and films that um, we need to make more. You know, and there's a lot of weird stuff, you know, being made. You know, but those are things you just watch once or twice, and then you don't call it a classic. It's, you know, long forgotten. You know, bon voyage. You know, that's it. And I don't like how that ends. I think a film has to be remembered, and it has to stick with you in memory, because that's what a film is. You have to remember. That's the greatness and the magic of it. So we have to keep that alive, folks. So that's it. Um, yeah, that's all for today. That's for today's reflection. All right, guys. Yeah, that's it. Have a good evening, and yeah, take note of the films that I mentioned. Those are great films. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's for my for my. All right, ciao, guys. I'm gonna have dinner with the mafia. Nah, I'm kidding. All right, guys. Ciao. Cheers, cheers. All right.